Shalom and welcome to this week's Hebrew class. My name is Tom Howling and today we will work our way through Yehuchanan, or in modern Hebrew, Yochanan, and in English, John, chapter 8, verses 10 to 13. So let us begin, and the first place I like to always begin is to give you the Nakud, the valve marking chart, for anyone who's relatively new so that we know how to use them, and also these great resources which we would encourage you to use during the week if you're practicing your Hebrew. So let us now begin. And as you can see, we're in verse 10, represented with the Yod, the 10th letter of the alphabet. And then we go through the letters. Vav, Yod, Sin, because the dot's on that side. Aleph, and it's silent because it's in white. Yod, Hey, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Aleph, Tav, Ayin, Yod, Nun, Yod, Vav, Vav, Yod, Resh, Aleph, Kaf, Yod, Aleph, Yod, Nun Safit. That means Nun at the end of a word, which is different from the Nun here. And then we have Aleph, Yod, Shin, Bet, Lamed, Tav, Yod, Hey, Aleph, Shin, because the dot's on this side now, and Hey. So let's read. Va Yisa. Vayisa means and he lifted up. Of course, it comes from the root word nasa, which is a kal verb to carry, to lift, to deliver a speech, to marry, or to bear. So it means to lift. And he lifted up, and then who lifted up? Yeshua or Yehusha. Et, which is a grammar marker, a naive, his eyes, and the his is the vav at the end. Then we have vayar, and he saw. The reason it's saw, not to see, means we got a vav and a yod. Yod is imperfect, the vav makes it a perfect form, and he saw. Ki, that, ayin, not, ish, a man, bilti, only, or we could say bilti is only, nothing else. As a prefix, it can mean not or non. So we could say only or, only or except. Ha-isha, the woman. So let us just return to what we know we're up to. And we're talking about the time where this woman was brought before him by the religious leaders who wanted to see if he would stone her. And so we see that at the end of that, she's there left alone. So that's where we get the translation. Yeshua lifted his eyes and saw that there was no man but only the woman, because all the other people had left after feeling guilty. And I've given you the grammar note, which was about that word here. When a word has a vav and a yod prefix, it is a perfect verbal form, with the yod being an imperfect future, but the vav reversing the tense, making it perfect. And I just wanted to make that note. Okay, now we can read it. Vayisa Yahushua et Einav Vayar ki ein ish bilti ha-isha. And he lifted up Yehusha's eyes, and he saw that not a man, only the woman. So we now turn to part B. We have a lamed, vayet, because there's no dot, dalet, hey, vav, yod, aleph, mem, resh, aleph, lamed, yod, hey, aleph, shin, hey, aleph, yod, fe, hey, sin, tet, nun, yod, kaf, so fit, kaf at the end of a word, hey, hey again, resh, shin, yod, ayin, kaf, so fit, aleph, yod, shin. So let's read it. Levada, her alone. So the hey at the end is a pronoun, meaning her alone. And then we have levad, which means alone, by oneself. Vayomer, and he said, Eleha, unto her, the he again is her, Isha, woman, a foe, which can mean where. Sit na yik, and it means your accusers. So I've added, are your accusers. Now we're going to see an interesting point, that the root of it is Satan. It's a masculine noun, mean adversary, accuser, or devil. Where are your accusers? Ha, here, she, ak. And it's a questioning hey. And it's also like a fill. Does convict you, let's come back to that, does convict you, and we have to look down here. Here, shia, a verb to convict, to condemn. So it's a question, so we say, does convict you, and the you is the kaf at the end. Ish, meaning a man. So the translation, no one but the woman, from the previous verse, alone. He said to her, woman, where are your accusers? Does anyone condemn you? And so now we can read that. Levada, vayomer, eleha, isha, a foe, sit nayik, ha here she ak, ish. Her alone. And he said unto her, woman, where are your accusers? Does convict you a man? And so we now turn to 11a. We have a yod, which is 10, aleph, which is 1. So we know we're in 11. Then we go vav, tav, aleph, mem, resh, lamed, aleph, chet, dalet, aleph, dalet, nun, yod, vav, yod, aleph, mem, resh, lamed, kaf, nun, safit, gimel, mem, safit, aleph, nun, yod, lamed, aleph. And we read it. Vatomer. And she said, why is it she? Well, we see that the yod is replaced with the tav, and they call that feminine form. And she said, because we know that omer or amar means to say. And she said, lo not echad, one, Adoni, my master. With again the chirik and the yod meaning my, because Adon means master. Vayomer, and he said, la ken, therefore, and we got it down here, la ken, it's an adverb. It means consequently, then, wherefore, accordingly, or therefore. Gum also, ani, which means I, lo, not. So she said, no, my master. He said, then I shall not. So let us read that now. Va to mer, lo echad, Adoni, va yomer, la ken, gam, ani, lo. And she said, not one, my master. And he said, therefore, also I not. And so we come to part B of 11. We have an aleph, resh, shin, yod, ayin, kaf, safit. Lamed, kaf, yod. Lamed, dalet, resh, kaf, safit. Vav, aleph, lamed, tav, chet, tet, aleph, yod, ayin, vav, dalet. And we read it. Archiaik, I shall condemn you. So if we look down there, we've got here, shia is a verb to convict, to condemn. So the I is the aleph, and the kaf is you. So the middle is your root, all right? Shia, that's your root. I shall condemn you. So not I shall condemn you from the previous verse. Le ki, go. And with that ending, that's also used as an imperative. Go. Le dar kek, to your way. Now, why is it to your way? The lamed is to, direct is way, and the kaf sofit at the end is you or your. So to your way. Ve'al and not, al by itself is not. Te chet I, you should sin. Because it's an imperfect form with the tav, and it is you as well. The tav can be used as imperfect and as a pronoun as well. You should sin, and it's an imperative because, again, the ending, the chirik and the yod. And then we have od, which more or still. Right, so then we read the translation. Then I shall not condemn you either. Go on your way and do not sin any more. So let us read that. Art she ache le ki le dar kek ve'al te cheti ot. I shall condemn you. Go to your way, and not you should sin more or still. And so we now turn to 12a, represented with a yod, 10, and a veyat, the second letter of the alphabet, so we've got a 2. So we're in 12. Vav yod samek fesofit, yod he vav shin ayin, Vav Yod Dalet Bayit, because the dot resh, Aleph Lamed Yod He Mem Sofit, mem at the end of a word, Lamed Aleph Mem Resh, Aleph Nun Yod, Aleph Vav Resh, He Ayin Vav, Lamed Mem Sofit. And let's read it. Ba Yosef. And he added. Now we know that Yosef means to add, one that was added, right? Joseph. So we know that it means and he added. And if we look down here, I've given you Yasaf. It's a kol verb to add, to augment, or Yisef as a PL verb, it means to re-evaluate. I'm just giving you that extra little bit, just to show you how it can be used as a PL verb, right? So, and he added Yahushua or Yahusha, Ve'daber, and he spoke, perfect form because of the Vav and the Yod, Alehem, unto them, Lemor, saying, Ani, I am, or the light, and I've added of, Ha'olam, the world. So we have the translation. Yeshua spoke to them once more, saying, I am the light of the world. And I've got a grammar note. A kol verb is the simplest verb and expresses a simple or stative action. A PL verb expresses, however, an intensive or causative action, something that's caused. And that's why I've given you there, because I've given you two types of verbs. So, now let us read that. Va Yosef Yahushua Ve'daber Alehem Lemor ani, or ha'olam. And he added, Yeshua, and he spoke unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. And now we come to 12b. We have a kaf, lamed, hey again, lamed, kaf, sofit, aleph, chet, resh, yod, lamed, aleph, yod, tav, hey, lamed, kaf, sofit, bet, chet, shin, kaf, hey, kaf, yod, aleph, vav, resh. And we read it, kol, meaning all, ha, holek, the ones walking, because we know holek, and as a noun, ha-helek, can mean the walker, the follower. But in this case, it's holek, so it means walking, and the one walking, it could be the one walking, the ones walking. So all the ones walking, acharei, after me, and the ending with the patak and the yod means me, after me, lo not, yit halek, which would be he shall walk, right, because it's a hitpiel, which means something that someone does themselves, he shall walk, ba cha she ka, in darkness. So how do we get that? We know that choshek is a masculine noun meaning darkness or forces of darkness. And then we have chashek as an adjective is used as dark or gloomy or lifeless. And huchshak is a verb to be darkened. So we can see the root of it is choshek, but in a slight different form, which means in darkness. And then we have ki, for, or the light, and I've added of. And I've given you a grammar note. A hitpiel verb expresses a reflexive or reciprocal action. It simply means that the result of something, the person would then, something they do to themselves, they walk, right? So that's why we've got he shall walk, or they shall walk. And so the translation, it was the light of the world. Anyone who follows after me shall not walk in darkness, for the light. And so let's read it. Now, why is this kol rather than kal? It's just a basic grammar rule that is in Hebrew, where when it's a first syllable with a closed syllable where there's no vowel after the letter there, we can just say kol, meaning all. So kol ha holek acharei lo yit halek ba chasheka ki or. All the ones walking after me not shall walk in darkness, for the light of, and then we get part C, where we have a hey, chet, yod, mem sofit, yod, hey, lamed, vav, and we read it. Ha, chayim, meaning life, right? Chay means life. It's sort of like the plural life with the im on the end. The life, yea, it shall be, because with the yod it's an imperfect form, and we know haya means to be. So therefore, it shall be, and then lo, for him, or to him. For the light of life he shall have. And I've given you masculine noun meaning life, living, existence. So we then read that. Ha-chayim yiyeh lo. The life, it shall be for him. And so now we come to 13. And we have a Yod, 10, Gimel, 3. And we go through the letters. Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Vav. Hey, Pei, because the dot, Resh, Vav, Shin, Yod, Mem, Safit. Ayin, Lamed, Nun, Fei, Shin, Kaf, Safit. Aleph, Tav, Hey, Mem, Ayin, Yod, Dalet. Ayin, Dalet, Vav, Tav, Kaf, Safit. And we read it. Va-yom-ru. And they said, again, the pronouns on the end, they, third person. And they said, ha-perushim, the Perushim, the Pharisees. Al, meaning regarding, about. Naf, sheka, about yourself. Why is the second shava a verbal one, whereas the first one is just naf and sheka? Because whenever there's two in a row, the second one is also verbal. About yourself. And again, the kaf at the end is your. And nefesh, of course, means soul or person. Then we get ata, you, me'id, witnessing, edutka, your testimony. Now, he'id is a verb to testify, to witness. So you are witnessing your testimony. Right, so the translation is the Pharisees said, you are testifying about yourself, your testimony. So it's like there's a comma after this one, right? Your testimony. And so let us read that. Vayomru ha-perishim al naf sheka ata me'id edutka. And they said, the Pharisees, the Perishim, about yourself you're witnessing, your testimony. And then we come to part B. Aleph, Yod, Nun, Yun, Hey. Nun, Aleph, Mem, Nun, Hey. And it is E-ne-na. E-ne-na. Not it. Of course, the root of that, ain, means not, nothing, nil. So not and it is because we got na at the end, which is like a pronoun, it. Not it, because we're talking about the testimony. Ne'emana, to be trustworthy. Right? Ne'eman is a verb to be true, to be reliable. As an adjective, it can mean loyal, faithful, trustworthy, devoted. So to be trustworthy. So your testimony is not trustworthy. And so we read that. E-ne-na. Ne-e-ma-na. Not it to be trustworthy. And so now we come to our revision. And again, we've got a Yod value of 10. We're in verse 10. Vayisa, and he lifted up. And who? Yeshua. Et einayev, his eyes. Vayar, and he saw. Ki that, not. Ish, a man. Bil ti, except or only. Ha isha, the woman. And he lifted, Yeshua, his eyes, and he saw that not, and I've added was, a man, only the woman. Levada, her alone, Vayomer, and he said, Eleha, unto her, Isha, woman, Ephata, For where sit Nayik are your accusers? Ha here shiak, which is, does convict you. Ish, a man. Her alone, and he said unto her, Woman, where are your accusers? Does convict you a man? Now we have a yod, aleph. Yod is 10, aleph is 1. Va tomer, and she said, Lo, not echad, one. Adoni, my master. Va yomer, and he said, La Cain, therefore, gum also, ani I, lo not. And she said, Not one, my master. And he said, Therefore also I not. And then we read here as being ar she a I convict or condemn you. Le ki, which is basically go, imperative. Le dar kek, to your way. Ve'al, and not. Te cheti, you should sin. Od, still or more. I shall condemn you. Go to your way, and not you should sin more or still. Have a yod 10, ve 2. Va Yosef, and he added, Yeshua, ve daber, and he spoke. Alehem, unto them, lemor, saying, Ani, I am, or the light, and we could add of, ha'olam, the world. And he added, Yeshua, and he spoke unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. Kol, all, ha-holek, the ones going or the ones walking, acharei, after me, lo not, yit halek, he shall walk, b'chasheka, in darkness, ki for, or the light. All the ones going or walking after me, not shall walk, not he shall walk, in darkness, for the light, and then we've got of, and we continue with 12c, ha-chayim, the light of the life, yit ye, it shall be, lo, to him or for him, which is basically in him, you know. The life, it shall be for him. And we have Yod 10, Gimel 3, we're in 13. Ba Yom Ru. And they said, Ha Perushim, the Pharisees, al, regarding or about, naf sheka, yourself, your soul, but it's usually translated as yourself, ata, you, me'id, you could say a witnessing. Edutka, your testimony. And they said, the Parashim, the Pharisees, about yourself, you're witnessing. Your testimony, ne na, not it, ne mana, is faithful or trustworthy. Not it to be trustworthy. And therefore we come to the conclusion, we come to our val marks, and as I do each week, Just to remind us, kamatz is a little bit longer, patak short, zere is longer, segol shorter, shavar is the symbol that breaks up the word into its syllables. Then we have cholam, the O sound, shuruk, a short u, kubutz, a bit longer u, and then a combination called a kataf, segol, where the segol follows the shavar. Then we have chirik, the R sound, and kataf patak, short A. And then we have chataf kamatz, a bit longer A. And again, I've given you the resources, and we do truly encourage you to use them. And then we have the randomness of the values of the letters. So we like to go randomly so that we begin to learn the values of each letter. So Resh is 200, Lamed 30, Gimel 3, Chet 8, Mem 40, Ayin 70, Lamed 30, Ta 400, Kuf 100, and Samek 60, just to help us try to remember the values of the letters. And so we'd like to thank you for joining us. And we do pray that these lessons truly encourage you to keep practicing Hebrew and get into it. It is a blessing to learn it because we do believe it to be the holy tongue. So, may Yeshua bless you this week. And I say again, Shalom.